Welcome to the AMTC 2021 interview series. Today, for this episode, I've been joined by Gerret Lukas from the Aachen Center for Additive Manufacturing. Hi Gerret, thank you for joining us today. I think to begin with, if you could just tell us a little bit about the history of the ACAM and what it's about and your roles there, and I believe you've had a few, so past and present.
Yes, I'm happy to do that. So the ACAM, we usually use the ACAM as an abbreviation. It's a center on the RWTH Aachen campus, and the campus is a structure where we try to combine university structure with industry transfer. So what we're trying to do is having industry partners, companies, acting like students around the campus. So they are more enrolling into certain subjects. And we facilitate the topic of additive manufacturing in that ecosystem. And before I joined ACAM, I used to be one of the researchers on the campus. We have, let's say, about 100 caring about additive manufacturing. I was one of them. So I basically then moved from research to managing the network of research and industry.
So you see both sides?
Yeah, so I saw both sides.
Important. Yeah.
I started from the perspective where you think, what kind of topics are we going to do next year with our industry partners? Mm-hmm. And now I'm kind of trying to bring the ideas, the wishes from the industry to the researchers. And I'm more like operating the center with a small team.
And a facilitator, I suppose, getting the research into industry and vice versa. Because if you're researching what the industrial people are telling you they want and need, you're facilitating that for them. Yeah, basically. It's quite interesting to find the good combination, the balance point between what industry wants from research and what researchers are interested in. Yes.
And this is the real challenge, but that makes it all day interesting.
I'm sure. So, as the Director of Projects at ACAM, can you give us any insight into any of the current projects that you're working on, particularly in terms of how AM is being implemented and industrialized. Industrialized is a word that's been all around today and everybody's using it, and it's a really sort of important theme, I think.
Yeah, it's a buzzword of the industry currently.
Yes.
I can tell a fair bit from research and from industry as well.
Yeah.
Of course, industry is always a bit difficult because companies might not want to talk about that very much. But from a research perspective, industrialization comes with development in processes and new machines and really digging a little bit deeper and really caring about the problems industry has. However, our research projects structure around sustainability, so how can we make machines more productive in a sustainable way? For example, reducing support structures, increasing material usage and so on. And this is what the companies usually also ask from us. They are looking at how can we make our identified applications more productive in additive. And we're kind of trying to balance that. However, the biggest part in our projects are material developments still, because there hasn't been a real long history, at least in additive, compared to conventional casting sciences or welding. So there are still a lot of experiments, and we're moving slightly forward from the regular materials to more exotic materials, and that's quite the biggest project we're doing currently with industry. And of course, we do have a couple more things attached to that in terms of access to industry. So how can we place our products in the market? That's what companies also ask us quite a bit.
Right, makes a lot of sense, really. Where are you seeing the most success with the implementation of additive manufacturing technologies? And I'm sort of asking more broadly in terms of industry sector, but also specific application types? I don't expect you to tell me about exact applications, but the types of applications that you're seeing.
Yeah. So in terms of industry sector, I would say medical is probably the number one, but they are not talking about it really.
They never do. They never have.
Yeah. So
probably never will.
So it's kind of an easy answer because nobody will really for sure know the details. But what I saw, what is also coming to people, to consumers in medical, this is quite a large impact which additive had in the recent years. When it comes to other sectors, I would say it's only bits and pieces where especially I think those applications work quite well that are easy accessible. For example, I would say jigs, fixtures, those things that are really easy accessible because you see an opportunity where you need flexibility or speed or decentralized production scenarios, and then a lot of companies are able to come up with an easy design and print, which works.
But there's actually real cost gains to be found there as well, isn't there?
Yeah. And that's why
the value of it.
The barrier is really low, and it's really interesting to see that because it's widely adopted, but not like very much widespread. So there are companies that they completely changed the way how they do fixtures or jigs. And then there are other companies that are surprised when you tell them that this is possible. So
yes, because I shouldn't say this really, but it's really not one of the most interesting applications of AM, but it really has value for so many companies. And people don't talk about it enough, I don't think.
Yeah, because
it's not sexy.
Yeah, you can't talk about it like it's an electric car or an airplane.
Absolutely.
It's nothing you really say.
It's not tangible.
Great. Yeah. So it's not like a hip replacement or artificial teeth or something. So there's no real ability to talk about it. And also it's very specific. So if one company has a good application that might not fit to another company because they do it differently, they have a different solution already, and so the other company might say, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
So it really depends.
So again, from your experience and looking ahead, what is it most about additive manufacturing technology and what's happening in the sector that makes you excited about the future?
It's a good question. I think there are three points. Two are from research. That's my route. That's why I'm really interested in that. And one is more from an industry perspective. I think the industry still needs to work on how to create valid business cases, come up with applications that are not good use cases for AM, but also work for their product, for their business model. This is especially for those who are users of the technology or service providers. They really should focus on that, and I think they will, because a lot of companies from machine manufacturers and material providers are also pushing in that direction, because that's what they need to build their business. From a research perspective, I think there are two things very, very much important. Environmental sustainability and productivity, which is, from my point of view, quite strongly connected. When it comes to environmental sustainability, I think additive manufacturing is in the position, or the industry is in a position to shape the future in a more sustainable way than other industry did that in the past.
You mean other manufacturing technologies, or?
For example, materials and polymer manufacturing. There used to be injection molding, and materials have been developed for injection molding and to be used as products. And additive manufacturing, with all things we know today, is now in a position to be looking more to materials that are able to be recycled better, that can be regenerated better than today's material. But if you look in the industry, we're still working with the old materials and not looking to the new materials very much. Yeah. And this is something I would say for the future is a big challenge, a big task for research and industry alike to make the swap to things that are more sustainable.
Brilliant. So at the event itself here at the AMTC, what have you heard that makes a difference, that's different to what you've heard before? Is there anything here today?
Of course, there's this coming back together feeling of
You'd
COVID.
You'd be amazed how many people have said that today.
I think it's every time, you can say that every time. I think it will still run until fall next in November, and then maybe phase out next year, where people are back to getting used to it. So what I think is that real focus on application, mm-hmm. Which has not been there before COVID that much. I mean, everyone was looking for application, but also new processes, new materials are also very interesting. But today it's all about how to build business cases together. Yeah. And then other thing is, I saw that in a breakout session about education. Because education,
skills, training
at school and university has been in a bit of a downside during COVID as well. And this has to be supported, I think, very much to really push the industry forward.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for the interview.